Jack Black, hello, mate.
Yeah.
It is good to see
Hello.
you, man. It is good to see you. I'll tell you what, congrats on the film Kung Fu Panda 4, we're back. But what I'm most excited about is hearing you and Kyle Gass on the soundtrack. When I was in high school, if you didn't have Tenacious D in your life, your soul lacked joy as far as I was concerned. I've been singing Wonder Boy to myself for the last couple of days. I'm just very pleased to see your face. And speaking about this character, speaking about Wonder Boy, you're back for the fourth time with Poe. What is the secret to his powers? Would you say? Why does this guy still resonate with people after all this time?
Well, first of all, let me just say I'm glad that means you stayed through all of the end credits to hear Tenacious D's version of Britney Spears' hit. Hit me, baby, one more time. We had so much fun recording that. Little Tenacious D in the Kung Fu Panda universe, if you please. Yeah, it was awesome to get back and party with Poe. Kung Fu Panda Dragon Warrior has been very, very good to me, and it's been an incredible journey over the last 16 years. Is that right? 16 years.
Yeah.
Impossible. It's probably my proudest feather in my cap that I have an enduring character that people all around the world love and want to see more of. That's heaven. For me, that's heaven.
And man, listening to Tenacious D in the soundtrack, especially when you go watch a film with like some kids around you as well, and to hear that and remember like what kind of that music has kind of meant to you over the time. It's like an Easter egg for adults almost. Even though the kids might be a little bit too young to hear some of the finest back catalogue of your fine band. Do you still have as much fun with Poe as you did? I know you kind of like dip in and out of it, so I guess it's still refreshing each time. But when you're in the recording booth, do you still get those kind of excited flutters for like just being as balls out creative as you can be and see what comes out the other side?
I sure do. I still have the love for that character and playing it and getting in the booth. And it all comes down to the writing and the directing. And Abel and Berger have been writing on Kung Fu Panda since the beginning for 16 years. And they came up with a doozy. I think it was cool that we had like all those years off since the first three. It took their time and they gestated and they came up with this really kick ass idea for a part four. And then the directors, we got Mike and Stephanie. They were so fun to jam with, and that's so important because it's that relationship that the actor and directors have that make the magic,
Yeah,
and
of course.
it's got to be fun. If you're not having fun with those people, it's not gonna create fire, and it sure did. I was really stoked to work with them.
And
Hope
you
to
still
work with them
seem
again.
you still seem like a guy who's having a lot of fun in his career. So you mentioned it's 16 years since Kung Fu Panda 1. So much has changed in the industry since then. If you're a performer or a comic or an actor, kind of like privacy is sort of a thing of the past with the way that everyone is so locked into social media and things nowadays. Do you kind of feel for the new generation coming through, or are you more excited about all the different ways in which you can kind of create content and kind of communicate with your audiences and like grow a fan base and stuff? What's your view on it these days?
Well, it's a double-edged sword. On the one hand, you worry about the new generation being too afraid to say or do anything because they'll be judged online. Everyone's watching all the time, everything's recorded. But on the other hand, it is an incredible tool to be able to to get content out there and get people laughing at the drop of a hat, with a post. It's so easy to make little short stories and little comedy nuggets, and everyone has access to it. That's kind of an amazing thing. So it's good and bad. You got to be careful.
Yeah, well, people have been loving your content for the last few years, especially over kind of lockdown and stuff. So you definitely seem like a guy who's managed to get the best out of it. And finally, sort of post job, Dragon Warrior in this to pass on wisdom, to inspire hope. Is that Jack Black's modus operandi for the kind of the forthcoming years for the rest of your career? Like, how do you see yourself now compared to when you started this out back then?
Yeah, I think I, along with Poe, have reached a time in my life where it's time to like move on from the Dragon Warrior into the spiritual leader. I can feel that transition. Not so much that I'm not going to start a spiritual leader thing, but uh, just in terms of like the priorities in life. Now that I've got a family and there's things that are important that I didn't have to think about when I was a kid, but now it's like, yeah, I'm a full grown ass adult, and it's cool. I love it. It's just a new world.
We won't be expecting you to turn up on TV in a robe leading like a mass suicide anytime
No,
soon.
no,
Well,
not
man.
that kind of thing. No.
Well, hopefully a few more of these in the future. I'm looking forward to seeing what you do next, as I do each time you've got a new movie out. I'm a big fan, man.
Thank you.
And thanks not only for the laughs, but for the sweet, sweet music. Those early noughties with a
Yes,
beautiful time. All right, man. Take it easy. Have a good year.
my pleasure.